Good evening, everyone. This is Jackie Busey. I'm the Vice President of Membership Experience.
Wait 1 minute. I'm sorry.
Okay. Tell me when to go.
Oh, okay. I see everybody coming in. So they were in the waiting room.
They were in the waiting room. Okay. We have most everybody in now. So go ahead. I'm sorry, Jackie.
It's okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our kickoff for the 2020-2021 membership year. This is Jackie Busey. I'm the Vice President of Membership Experience for Girl Scouts of Southeastern Michigan. I want to thank you for giving us some of your time tonight. We know that's pretty precious to all of you, especially right now. And so we're going to start with some housekeeping items. Liz, do you want to go through our housekeeping items?
I would love to. So with all the really awesome content we have here tonight, I'm sure that we're going to be getting a few questions from you all. So if you do have a question, what we want you to do is go ahead and type those in the chat log, and myself and some of the other members of the volunteer experience team and Nafisa will be answering those questions as we go along. And anything we can't answer, like maybe something that's department specific, we'll save until the end. And we should have plenty of time for Q&A at the end. But we just ask that you keep yourselves muted and your webcams off for the duration of this webinar. And we're also going to be sending out the fall kickoff survey link in the chat log at the end of the webinar. So please be on the lookout for that. It shouldn't take more than 5 minutes to complete. But the information that we gather in this survey and any surveys that we do at Girl Scouts of Southeastern Michigan, these are done to improve the programming that we bring to you. So please just take a couple of minutes to share your thoughts with us. And just so you know, this webinar is being recorded. So we're going to have this posted on the website in the latest news section. So if you get any questions from some of your fellow troop leaders, like, is this being recorded, or if you want to come back to this at a future date, that absolutely will be available for you. And I'm going to turn it back over to Jackie.
Great, thank you. So again, I see lots of people are still joining us. Welcome again to everybody. This is our agenda. We're going to give you a chance to meet our new CEO, so that's pretty exciting. We'll have some updates from product program, retail. We'll be introducing you to some of our exciting programs and outdoor education events that will be happening this year. We'll talk a little bit about some new recruitment tools that we're using, and then we're going to round that out with some updates from our volunteer experience and troop support team, and updates on our meeting guidelines. And then again, we're going to ask you to type your questions in the chat log. We're going to try to answer them as they come in, but there will be time at the end for Q&A. So with that, I'd like to introduce our new CEO, Monica. So Monica joined our staff in May, right in the middle of the pandemic. So right from the fire into the frying pan. Before she joins us on the call to tell you a little bit about herself, we're going to have you hear a little bit from her in a recording about her thoughts on you as our volunteers. Following Monica, we're going to share our information from the rest of the agenda, and we'll have several staff joining us for the rest of the call. So with that, let's hear from Monica on the recording. Liz, if you could start that.
Volunteers really are the lifeblood of our organization. So I want them to know that I appreciate them, that I'm here. I look forward to working with them. I look forward to their thought partnership. I look forward to hearing their insights on the council, what we're doing well, what we can do better. I know we're working on opportunities for engagement via Zoom or via whatever platform we have. And so I do look forward to meeting them, but I also look forward to the day where we can get in the same room and talk to one another. Our volunteers are so committed to this council and to this movement. The value that they bring is immeasurable. And so I want to make sure that they know that I see that, I understand that, and I respect that. And we have a council of talented staff. And so it's a partnership. And I'm looking forward to sort of strengthening that partnership with our volunteers.
All right, Monica.
All righty. Thank you, Jackie. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us to kick off this new membership year. I'm so excited to be at GSSEM, even at what could be one of the most challenging times in our council's history. I'm grateful to all of our volunteers who are taking this journey with us. Your commitment to girls and Girl Scouting is to be commended. We all know how difficult the coronavirus pandemic has been for our girls and adults, and how we've all had to change the way we do things. We went from large-scale in-person events to having to cancel activities altogether, to now trying to figure out how to have a bit of normalcy while being socially distant, all the while wearing a mask. Many of our volunteers understandably are experiencing anxiety and fatigue, dealing with personal and professional issues while trying to maintain your commitment to the girls and fellow volunteers who count on your mentoring support as troop leaders, service unit managers, and cookie cupboard managers, and so many other ways you give to Girl Scouts. I just want you to know that at GSSEM, we see you and we value your contributions. We simply could not do all that we do without your dedication. We're working, please excuse me, we are working even in our current environment to keep providing the tools, resources, and information you need to keep supporting our girls, because we know how much that means to you. Thank you so very much for your commitment to GSSEM. Enjoy the kickoff, and feel free to email me if you'd like to share insights or just get better acquainted. Now, would you all please join me in reciting the Girl Scouts Promise and Law? On my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout law. And now the law. I will do my best to be honest and fair, friendly and helpful, considerate and caring, courageous and strong, and responsible for what I say and do, and to respect myself and others, respect authority, use resources wisely, make the world a better place, and be a sister to every Girl Scout. And now I will hand it over to Amanda and the product program team.
Good evening, everyone. We are very excited to be joining you tonight to talk about some of the exciting things we have coming up in our product program this year, mainly our fall sale program, which we are in preparations for now, which kicks off on October 1st. So I'm going to turn it over to Angela Bloom, our product program manager, who will share some updates with you now.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so we're super excited to start this year off with our theme, which is Bravely Be You and Trust Your Strengths. And then the mascot this year is the three-toed pygmy sloth. So very cute. As always, there are multiple ways that troops can sell. We have that traditional paper promise card, and then we also have the option to sell online. So the Girl Scout would send her unique link through email or social media. And then the troops do receive 95 cents for every nut and candy item sold, and $1.50 for each magazine subscription sold. And in addition to that, the troops do have the option to opt out of rewards to earn an additional 10 cents for every nut and candy item or magazine subscription. These are some of our fall product program dates that you'll want to keep on hand. So September 18th is the volunteer email that you will receive to get started. So that initial kickoff email, it will have a hyperlink for you to select, and it will take you right to the website to get started. If you don't receive that email for whatever reason, feel free to email productsales@gssem.org, and we'll make sure you get it. On September 21st is the online early sales. So that's when the scout can get started. She'll log in, get her link, her unique link, and then she can send that out to friends and family and start getting some sales. And then October 1st is the actual product program, the fall product program sale. That's where she can take the nut order card to friends and family. And then the sale will conclude on November 2nd. So that's any orders input into the system, any reward selections made. The sale ends November 2nd. And then on November 12th, 13th, and 14th is our deliveries. So this is when you'll receive not only the product for the Troop, but the Troop rewards. And then on December 11th is our ACH withdrawal. So any monies owed to GSSEM from the fall program, that will be due on December 11th. And then we just encourage that everyone has the funds in the bank account a few days early, checks cleared by December 8th. So COVID-19 safeguards. So we are practicing social distancing at all the delivery sites. Staff will be wearing PPE, and we are encouraging everyone to wear a mask when picking up the product. In addition to that, we will be providing you with a PPE kit to use when distributing the product to your troop. So we're hoping that everyone stays safe during the fall program, of course, and we're making sure we're prepared. So we also have some fall product program webinars. We have we just had one, a few moments ago, but there is a recorded version on our website at gssem.org. We have one coming up next Tuesday, September 15th from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. And then we have one on Monday, September 21st, 2020, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. And then, as I mentioned, we do have that recorded webinar for you to watch on demand anytime you want. And then again, our specific email is productsales@gssem.org for any questions or concerns that come up at any point during the sale. And moving on to retail.
All right, thank you, Angela. That was some information about our fall product program, and I know that everybody's always excited about our cookie program, and so definitely there will be more to come about our 2020 cookie program, so stay tuned for that probably in early November, but rest assured we're making plenty of plans so that we can have a very successful, albeit maybe a bit different 2021 cookie program. At this time, I want to transition a little bit and provide you with a retail operations update. We have been missing everybody at our shops for the last 6 months and 2 days. So we are very, very excited to be able to reopen our retail shop locations starting the week of September the 14th. The White Lake, Detroit, and Clinton Township shops will all be reopening again the week of September the 14th. The Detroit and White Lake shops will be open on Thursdays and Saturdays to begin with, and Clinton Township will be open Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. So please make sure that you do check the GSSEM website under the shop tab so that you can see what the current hours may be, and depending on how things go, we may be adding hours as the season continues. So we are looking forward to seeing you in our retail shops very soon. And there will be a special welcome back sale, 20% off all merchandise, excluding clearance and new badges, which will go on beginning with our reopening on September the 14th and continue for a couple of more weeks. So if you can get in and see us over the next few weeks, we have some great deals for you. So we hope to see everybody. For everyone's safety, masks are required for entry into the retail shops. If you forget your mask, like all of us have at some point, we do have some disposable masks for you. And our service centers are still closed at this time. But we love to see you in the shops. And at this time, I'd like to introduce my colleague, Leatrice Thompson, who will start talking about programs.
Thank you, Amanda. We're very excited to kick off our program season. as we do kick off, we are creating new ways to keep girls involved. Our focus will be making sure all programs fall under our 4 pillars, from robotics to Go Kits to first aid, money manager, and of course, camping. These programs and more represent STEM, outdoors, life skills, and entrepreneurship programs GSSEM has created. First, we're going to hear a little bit about from the outdoor team, and I'm going to hand it over to Gretchen, who's the director of outdoors.
Hi, everyone. I would like to just reiterate what Amanda briefly mentioned. I think Monica mentioned and Jackie mentioned. Amanda mentioned, we miss seeing your faces. We missed campers this summer. It was very strange to do camp all summer without girls, without parents. So we did a virtual camp, and if you participated, we thank you and hope that you enjoyed it. Some of our girls had a great time. Feedback was pretty good. Again, it's not the same as having you in person, so I'm pretty excited to announce that we are bringing girls back to camp starting September 18th. If your troop would like to come camping, you can come camping. We will have limited capacity in our cabins. You can register right now online. If you would like to bring your family camping, you can cabin.
You're half dressed. No.
Oops. You can rent a cabin. So both of those forms to register are online.
I tried to put your pants on you. You said no.
Thank you.
Excuse me, if we could just make sure that everybody is muted, that would really help our presenters. Thank you.
So if you're a Girl Scout member and you'd love to come to camp with your family, we are offering that option. It's the first time we've offered that option here that I'm aware of, and we're excited to be able to just have families back at camp. In addition to you bringing your family to camp, it'd be like troop camping where you make of it what you will. You'd have use of the facilities, the campfires, the outdoor cooking, the kitchens and the lodges. But then we would have add-ons just as we would with normal troop camping. So you could pay per person to have archery. We just have limited capacity. We have all the standard COVID-19 social distancing and PPE protocols in place. Just smaller numbers, smaller capacity. So because of that, we are doing something different than we have. Is we're offering pretty much any day of the week. So a 2-night minimum. If you want to bring your family or your troop, and you happen to be available on Wednesday and Thursday night, that works for you. I know we're all in this different environment where kids are in school and we are working, but you just may have more flexibility than you've ever had before. So we wanted to make sure that we had flexibility as well for you to have more options than just weekends. So if it works out for you to camp from Sunday and Monday night, that's going to be available to you. Those forms are on the website. You'll check out our gssem.org, the Camp and Outdoors section. We'll have the details. And as always, you can please email me, gabrams@gssem. I'm on the website as well. I'd love to answer your questions. We are very excited to get you guys back at camp. And I could talk about camp all day, so I'll move on to outdoor Go Kits. We've been doing those this summer. It's a $5 kit that can just get your girl outdoors and earn a patch or two, or start a badge, some badge work. And they're just fun little kits to get them outdoors excited and doing some programming with Girl Scouts. So we can do those as an individual, or Girl Scouts can do this as a small troop, whatever your troop is comfortable doing and gathering together this pandemic situation that we're in. Another thing I will talk about, and then I'll turn it back over to Leatrice, is Amazing Race. This is actually not at camp. This is across the council. Similar to the show, if you've ever seen it, similar to a road rally, which you may have participated in. We'll have 2 sessions, one for younger girls, Daisies, Brownie Juniors, and then we'll have one for cadets, senior ambassadors. That's a little, obviously more challenging, but it'll be the similar idea of just a scavenger hunt and challenges in different places. There'll be teams formed. It'll be very exciting, we hope, and virtual, but Liz Brewer, our outdoor education coordinator, will be the one coordinating that and communicating with everyone as that goes on. Chris Nichols, our STEM program specialist, will also be participating with us in that, helping make that happen. Registration should be soon. It starts in October, so we have a little bit of time. So look for that on the calendar, look for that on the website, and much more to come, many things we are kicking off in October. Camp starts next weekend, the 18th. So if you have any questions, again, put in the chat log. I'll answer them right after this, and email me if you need to talk more details or want to know more about camp and protocols and such. I'd love to talk to you about camp and outdoor education anytime. Thanks. Beatrice?
Thank you, Gretchen. I know a lot of girls are really excited to get back to camp, and a lot of girls are also getting back to our programs and events that we offer. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about the programs that we have kickstarted for the fall and winter months that are coming up. We want to roll out some of the new badges that GSUSA had started this summer. And we've been planning this over the summer and into the fall a little bit. But I first want to talk about our Women's 100 Suffrage Patch Program. That kickoff will start on October 1st. We want to kick off the Women's 100 Suffrage Movement, and we want to recognize those women who created opportunities for women and to have a voice, and making sure our voices are heard. So that patch program, I think it's on our website already, so you can take a look at under the patch programs just to get a more understanding of what we have to offer, and then the patch should be available also for sale at our council shop. Starting in October, we are kicking off Mentoring Mondays. It's going to be a weekly opportunity for 20 CSAs, which are cadets, seniors, and ambassadors. They're going to get the opportunity to ask questions to local women who are executives, physicians, educators, and more. And to kickstart that, our new CEO, Monica Woodson, will be our first mentor, and that's going to be on September 21st. And then following Monday, our board chair, Telva Magruder, will be on the call on September 28th. And again, all these programs are up on our calendar for more information. And as we all know, with COVID, we had to transition, but Girl Scouts, we're always willing to transition and pivot when need be. So with that, we have our Badge Boss programs, which offers a virtual aspect and a virtual programming for girls of all age levels. They get the opportunity to earn badges with what I call our local experts. So those are our local community organizers and also our local partners that we have throughout GSSEM. Then our drone program, which I'm very excited about, we're going to call it our Fly Girl Drone Club. It's going to be for older girls, and they're going to get an introduction to drones. And they're not only just going to have to learn to fly them, but they're going to have to learn to maintain them and build them as well. So bringing more STEM into our program and more opportunities to see girls expand their horizons of what STEM has to offer. And finally, our advocacy program with Girls Speak Up. So we want to make sure that girls understand how to use their voice. I think that's very important, especially now in an election season, but also just making sure that their voices can be heard. We want to introduce girls to issues that not only affect them that only affect them locally, but also globally as well. So we're going to kickstart that with our Spirit Week coming up next month in October. Girls are going to have the opportunity to meet and interact with women that advocate for social justice. And next slide. And lastly, this is just a lineup of what programs that we're going to have to offer through our 4 pillars. Excuse me, I'm sorry. This is what we've been working on for programs and outdoors. We're hard at work creating new ways to not only get the girls involved, but to get the volunteers involved as well, because you guys are an important piece of that factor for us. We are very grateful that so many partners are still reaching out. They want to create opportunities versus virtual or in person, and that's the creative thing about Girl Scouting. So I hope to bring more programs to you guys. Thank you, of course, for your time for today. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And I'm going to throw it over now to Ruth, our Director of Recruitment.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I wish I could see your faces, but I'm imagining you all. I want to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing to recruit this year. Recruiting, as you might guess, has become very, very different than it was in the past. Some of our events are different because we planned them that way, and some of the things we're doing are different because we had to do them in response to the health crisis. Our main recruiting event this year is a robot building party, and this was something we had been planning through GSUSA for quite some time. It's a way of marketing to girls and their parents at the same time, since both make the decision to join Girl Scouts at the same time. And we have changed the way we're marketing these and presenting these quite radically. So given the situation we're in where we used to recruit in the schools and we can't go into the schools now, we're using a lot more advertisement, earned media, purchased media, a lot of online advertisement, and then we're bolstering that with flyers at the grassroots level. So we're advertising these events differently. Then we're holding a robot party, which is a You're Invited campaign. And You're Invited was the wording that we found at the national level really appealed to families. You're invited to come and find out about Girl Scouts. So these events are where girls who want to sample Girl Scout activities and their parents can come and build a robot out of various materials. The idea is that they design a robot that will do the things they would like a robot to do, whether that's clean their room, be their friend, pitch baseballs to them. They design the robot to fulfill that. So it's a little engineering activity for girls to experience, and it also gives their families an idea of what Girl Scouts is about. We found that some of the families in our council don't know what Girl Scouts is about, or they have preconceived notions about what Girl Scouts is. So this gives them an idea of the kind of activities we do, the way we operate, the way we have fun activities that teach girls things that are useful to them. So we have this meeting, which is designed for K through 3. We have some other recruitment events which are designed for K through 5, which have a sampling of different Girl Scout activities. We're holding these outside. We've rented pavilions in parks, and we have also designated a full-time recruitment specialist to doing virtual events. So she'll be doing those on Zoom as well. And people can choose either one of these options. The outside event is very popular. Because it's outside, we're able to pretty easily follow the governor's health orders, and we require that people wear masks and distance. So the adults that come are required to supervise their girls' activity while we talk to them. So that's one of the changes we had to make because of the health situation. The other one is we're using Eventbrite to have people RSVP for these meetings so that we can manage the attendees and make sure that not too many people show up and that we have space for everybody. So these events are quite different. Through September and October, we'll be doing the outdoor events, and later in October, we'll be moving into more virtual events if the situation doesn't change. So we're also offering different options for people to get involved in Girl Scouts. It's quite a different world we're living in. So we're encouraging people to do virtual troops. We're providing access to Zoom if they need it. We're encouraging people to do individual Girl Scouts, which is a really good option at this time, and to take advantage of the many virtual activities and events that we have going on. It is possible to do a traditional troop, but with, not getting a room in a school to have your troop meeting, there are quite a few limits to what people can do. So we're doing a lot of coaching of families and trying to help them navigate the situation and see how they can do Girl Scouts if they want to. Girl Scouts, a lot of people are aware that we have troops in schools, and so they kind of scratch their heads and go, so, okay, how are we going to do this? And we have to talk them through it. The nice thing about these robot building parties is that once an adult has seen it, they've got a fairly good idea of how a Girl Scout meeting is going to look. So they have a pretty good familiarity with how we operate. So the thing that's really different for our recruitment specialists this year is that we're talking to people about different problems. Recruitment is really sales. It's membership sales, and sales is about solving people's problems. If you don't solve their problems, they don't want to join. And we used to talk about people's concerns about their girls socially, or what their activities were, or whether they had friends. And now we find we're talking more about, what can I do after a full day of trying to keep my child involved in virtual schooling, or I'm working at home, my whole life is different than it used to be. How can I supervise her activities after school? And so we're here to talk to them about what their options might look like, and how the virtual events that we're putting on can really, really help parents. And we're finding that a lot of the families are telling us, well, we've had a whole week of experience now, but families are telling us that they did find the Girl Scout experience was a help to their girl earlier in the year, because it is a structured activity, but it's not school. It is fun, and they did appreciate it. So we do have some interest, and we're just trying to make this work for the families that are interested in joining. So as I said, we've had 3 or 4 days of outdoor meetings and virtual meetings, and those outdoor meetings were pretty damp, but they've gone quite well, and people are enjoying them. What I would like to tell you as volunteers is that we could really use your help. So we may reach out to you and ask you for help. We may ask you to post flyers to Facebook groups. We may ask you to help spread the word. I always ask you to encourage girls to join. If your girls have friends who are not Girl Scouts, encourage them to join our events, come to these robot parties and see what we're all about. See if we're a good fit for them. We can enrich their girls' lives. And if you would like to help at these meetings, we would love to have you help. However, I would ask that you let us know that you want to do that, so that you can help us do it in a way that maintains safety for everybody. I should mention these meetings that I'm talking about, these Build a Robot events, family information meetings. They are for recruitment. They're not for existing members. They're interesting enough looking to people that we've had a lot of members sign up, and that's that this is a recruitment event. So we would ask you to help recruit. We're very much interested in getting girls into our membership and providing them the, like I said, the enrichment that they can get during this time when the rest of their lives have changed radically. I can be reached at ruth@gssem.org if you want to get a hold of me, if you have questions, if you want to help. All the recruitment specialists are listed on the website by community. If you want to get a hold of them, we would love to hear from you. As I said, we may reach out to some of you and ask for help. We really can't do it without you, especially as to reaching school communities and getting those flyers out at the grassroots level. So I'm going to turn it over now to Liz Bogner in Volunteer Experience.
All right. Hello, everybody. I have a lot of material to get through here, a lot of great updates to share with you. And I'm going to start off with Spirit Week because we all need a little bit of Girl Scout spirit now more than ever, I think. So we're going to be doing our Spirit Week once more this October during the week of the 18th. And troops and individuals can participate in Spirit Week to complete the items on the Spirit Week checklist. And once complete, all participants will earn a fun patch. And on this year's checklist, activities include ways girls can be good citizens, show their Girl Scout pride, how girls can help out, promoting sisterhood and friendship, and being a go-getter. So there will be a few ways that girls can accomplish each item on the checklist. So you'll see when you go and pull up that checklist. And these are all done on your honor. So when we post the slide deck, you're going to be able to access the checklist. And we would also love it if you could share some pictures or stories of girls showing their Girl Scout spirit. So be sure to share those with us on GSSEM social media. Now moving on to Honor Troop. Every year, troops have the opportunity to become official GSSEM Honor Troops by completing the Honor Troop checklist. And this checklist is a great way to maximize all that Girl Scouts has to offer and helps you give your girls the most engaging year possible. And this checklist also connects you to your Girl Scout community and all the people here to support you as a volunteer. And we know Girl Scouts is looking a little different right now, so we updated our 2019-2020 checklist to make it more quarantine friendly. And if you're stuck on what to do with your troop during this time, we highly recommend referring to this checklist for some ideas. And you can turn in your checklist by November 1st, and we'll mail you some free patches to your troop, some fun patches there. And the 2021 checklist will be released on November 1st for those of you go-getters out there. And we got a few updates to Volunteer Essentials, not a whole heck of a lot, just a little rebranding thing, noting that we are the largest girl-led leadership development organization. There's some virtual meeting links and resources and things like that that you can find in Volunteer Essentials. We got some digital cookie and internet safety things infused into Volunteer Essentials now. And there's also some updates to things surrounding COVID-19, so guidance, travel restrictions, things like that. So be sure to check out Volunteer Essentials if you haven't. Our new version is posted at gssem.org/VE. Yeah. Go ahead and check it out. And we also have some updates to the safety activity checkpoints. That's where you can find all of our safety policies and information on how you can make sure all Girl Scout activities are as safe as possible. So if you haven't checked out the 2020 edition of the safety activity checkpoints yet, we highly recommend that you do. Because coronavirus safety has been added to this edition, along with guidelines for virtual troop meetings and online safety. And just remember, as you go through your year, whether you're meeting virtually or in person or however it shakes out, just be sure to reference the safety activity checkpoints, especially as your girls are planning activities or maybe down the line some trips, if we can do that again. And if you ever have any safety related questions, you can always reach out to your troop support specialist for assistance. Now this one I'm super excited about, you guys, because this has been about a year in the making. GS Learn is, if you haven't had a look at it yet, it's our new learning management system. And what a learning management system is it's where all of our trainings are housed. And that allows us to better track learning and kind of manage the learning that you see depending on your experience level. So that's pretty cool. But if you go to where our trainings used to be housed, gssem.org/learning, this now directs you to a page that describes how to use and access GS Learn. And it also gives you some information about the trainings that are highly recommended for new leaders. So that includes GSUSA's Successful Leader Learning Series, brand new, as well as GSSEM Foundations, kind of our supplemental council training. So in order to get onto GS Learn, what you'll do, it's really simple. All you have to do is log on to MyGS, and just like you would do to go to the volunteer toolkit, for example, or your member profile, that's the same place you're gonna go. There's now a button for GS Learn. So there's no extra username or password involved. And if you need it, we have a short and snappy available at gssem.org/learning on that page that I was just talking about to guide you through the process. And it'll also show you how to access trainings on your dashboard. And once you're on GS Learn, be sure to check out the brand new Returning Leader Refresh for 2020. And this will give you the rundown of all the new badges and what they cover. So if you're a second-year leader or a more experienced leader, this training has already been assigned to you in GS Learn, so be sure to check it out. And if you aren't familiar with the new badges for this year, we now have a progressive automotive engineering series for daisies, brownies, and juniors. We have civics and entrepreneurship badges for all levels, and a STEM career exploration badge for brownies, juniors, and cadets. So a lot of material added to the volunteer toolkit this year. And speaking of the volunteer toolkit, all those badges you just saw, those are already in the volunteer toolkit. They're ready for your girls to explore. And there's even some new year plans in there for you, including journey year plans for seniors, and also the new Great for Your First Year plan. So if any of you out there are first year leaders, you're just getting started, or you're looking for a good, well-rounded year plan, that Great for Your First Year plan is awesome. And I mentioned that there is new journey content for seniors. Well, I shouldn't say new journey content, but the journey year plans are now up, but also the senior badges are up too. So pretty much anything you could want for seniors is now in the volunteer toolkit. And if you're planning virtual meetings, VTK is the best resource to help you out with that. Attached to every single meeting plan in the volunteer toolkit, you'll have access to resources from GSUSA that'll help you with different aspects of your virtual meeting. Like, for example, how to adapt materials for virtual meetings. There's also one on digital icebreakers. So really helpful stuff. And also, you might notice that there's a new little icon. So you may have seen the little tree for Get Girls Outside activities or the globe for global. What you'll now see is a little Wi-Fi icon, and that denotes a virtual activity. So if you're planning virtual meetings, be on the lookout for that little icon. And now, while we're on the subject of virtual meetings, if you're planning on engaging girls in the virtual space in some way, be sure to check out Girl Scouts at Home on the GSUSA website and on our website, gssem.org/virtual, for resources created by us at GSSEM. And if you want to take a deep dive on how to make your troops' virtual experience the best it can be, join us for an upcoming Engaging Troops Online webinar. We have one coming up on September 30th, and we just scheduled one on September 8th. So you can check those out. Myself and my colleague Nee will be facilitating those. And there's also an online training if you're unable to make it to one of our webinars. There's a short training from GSUSA that covers how to host a virtual meeting if you'd like to view that as well. And you can find that on GS Learn. And we had already mentioned that we're kind of exploring the idea of Zoom licenses. So more to come on that. And real quick, I just want to put this out there, save the date. We've got a really great conference, the Virtual Volunteer Conference coming up on November 7th. We're in the process of putting that all together, but I think it's going to be really cool. We're going to offer some trainings that we don't normally do. We're hoping to engage some outside speakers to help us out with that. So the calendar listing is in the works. So expect that down the line, but for now, just put that on your calendar, save the date. We'd love to have you there. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jackie to talk about meeting and event guidelines.
All right, thanks, Liz. So we just recently updated our meeting and events guidelines. They are up on the website on our coronavirus page. You can link there. Just a couple things to note that are changed in there is if you're meeting in person, again, we're still recommending that you do virtual meetings when you can, but if you're meeting in person, there's 100 people maximum for outside meetings. And I would check your local restrictions, make sure that there's nothing different or nothing locally that you need to consider before you're planning your meetings. If you're planning inside meetings, we're recommending 10 people total, so 8 girls, 2 adults, 2 unrelated adults, leader, co-leader. And we did add to those updated meeting guidelines for meeting in private residences. We do know that because of how schools are using their spaces this fall, that meeting space is at a premium for a lot of you. So please ask your troop support specialist if you need some help finding meeting spaces. We did over the summer make some phone calls to some outside meeting spaces like churches and community centers. And we do have a handful of places that are letting troops meet. So if you do need meeting space, please contact your troop support specialist. Next slide, Liz. We know some of you have groups that are larger than can meet inside right now. So again, we're recommending that those large groups continue to hold virtual meetings or meet in smaller groups or patrols is something that you can do to navigate that smaller meeting size. We're not recommending that troops travel at this time, but if you are going to be traveling, please email travel@gssem.org. And then again, please keep checking back at gssem.org/coronavirus for updated guidelines. So I think we've been managing the questions pretty much as they're coming in, but I'm gonna ask that my question log monitors, if they would unmute their lines and let me know if there are some questions that we have not answered yet.
We have one that says, where can we find the guidelines to meet in our homes?
So that is in, if you go to gssem.org/coronavirus, it's in that troop meeting and event section. There's a link to the guidelines. And in the guidelines are the updated guidelines for meeting in private residences.
Can we get our troop books at the shop? Amanda, you want to take that one? Is Amanda still here?
If we're talking about girls' guides to Girl Scoutings and grade level handbooks, yes, you can get those at the shop.
Where are we at with getting last season's cookie rewards?
All the 2020 cookie rewards should have been received by now. So if you are missing something or you didn't get them, please email productsales@gssem.org so that we can check into that for you.
How do we get Go Kits?
I had to unmute myself. Go Kits will have pickup dates. So they will have a registration link, and we have one planned for October, November, and December. So those links are probably not on the calendar at the moment. But once they go on the calendar, you just register like an event. You pick your date and your place. We have 4 pickup locations around the council. And we've been very accommodating. Most people have been able to make the date or the time, or we have been able to meet you. So you can let us know for sure how we can help you with that. So October, look for dates to be registering / purchasing Go Kits on the website in the next week or 2. They'll go live. Our dates are for October, so we have time yet.
Someone asked if the shops are offering curbside pickup. Amanda answered, no, shops are not offering curbside pickup at this time. A question about training.
Just a note, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
We are not doing curbside pickup. However, if you don't feel comfortable coming in for whatever reason, the online shop at girlscoutshop.org is offering free shipping. So you can shop from your home and get free shipping that way.
Thanks, Amanda. There's a question about trainings. Are all the trainings, are trainings mandatory for all the leaders or just one if none of them are new? So at Girl Scouts of Southeastern Michigan, none of our trainings are required. Some of them, like our new leader trainings, so the Successful Leader Learning Series and GSSEM Foundations, those are highly recommended for new leaders. If you're a returning leader, of course, we want you to expand your Girl Scout knowledge as much as possible, but are we going to make you take any trainings? No. Can I find all trainings on GS Learn? Yes, you can. Every single one of our trainings can be found on GS Learn. So in terms of what we offer, we have material for new leaders like Successful Leader Learning Series, GSSEM Foundations. We also have a pretty extensive library of 30+ trainings called Short and Snappies. They're under 15 minutes and they go over a topic, either like doing little lists of how ways you can engage girls in XYZ. We have one on ability. There's one on nominating folks for the Volunteer National Awards. Oh, speaking of which, if you know a volunteer who has just done an amazing job this year, we highly recommend that you nominate them for a Volunteer National Award. It makes them feel good. If you want more information on that, I'm going to type this in the chat log. It's at gssem.org/vol recognition. That's where you can find more information on the nominations process. But yeah, any training that you could possibly want that we've put out there, be it a short and snappy, grade level trainings. We even have a couple of high award trainings up now. Yeah, check out GS Learn. There's a ton of content, not just from us, from GS USA as well. And if any of you will be taking our Daisy Brownie grade level trainings, those trainings are actually more or less being picked up by GS USA for national use. So yeah, just throwing that one out there. They might look a little familiar.
Hey Liz, this is Denise. Mary Lawrence is asking to see the travel recommendation page prior to the question. Thank you.
Aren't camping trainings and having a registered first aider required? So first aider requirements, and I'm going to let Gretchen speak to this one a little more, but anytime like you need a first aider, the safety activity checkpoints is going to let you know that. But Gretchen, you want to answer the rest of that?
Yes, if you're coming camping, they are required. So I guess if you're not going to camp, to Liz's point about required training, they are not required. But if you intend to camp with your girls, camping trainings and having a certified first aid adult is required. And it's all laid out in the safety activity checkpoints too, for sure.
All right, any other questions? Can a parent that is not a leader be nominated for a volunteer national award? So a requirement for a volunteer national award is that the person is registered. So they have to be a registered volunteer for at least 1 year in order for that nomination to go through. So if that parent was registered but not a leader, then yes, you could nominate them for a volunteer national award, probably volunteer of excellence. However, if they weren't, then we would be unable to accept that nomination. What I would recommend instead is just doing something as a troop to recognize that person.
All right, Liz, we got about 3 minutes left to answer questions if people have questions that haven't been answered yet.
How can we get the recording? So this is going to be posted on the GSSEM website. It's going to be in the latest news section. For fall product sales, is there a way for girls to sell only online and not have any girl delivered?
Yes, that is an option that the troop would need to decide. So if that's what the troop and the parents decide, then you would just need to let the girls know that. The parents would need to approve any girl delivered orders. And so if the troop's not doing that and someone were to place one, the parent would just need to contact them and let them know that they're doing shipped in magazine orders only.
All right, I'm not seeing any more activity in the chat log for now.
Okay, Liz, do you want to go ahead and post the survey link there? And for those of you still on, you can click right on that link and you'll be able to share your thoughts on tonight's kickoff presentation. Outdoor cold kits, I think, is the last question that's been posted again. And yet Gretchen said those are going to be available. You'll have to check email Gretchen, gabrams@gssem.org. Holly, the shop's open on the 14th. Look at our website for the most recent hours. You go to our website and shop. We're going to monitor the chat log for a little bit longer, but we want to thank you again for joining us this evening, and we hope that you have a safe year, and thanks for all you do.